Hey guys, welcome back to L&D Home and welcome to another home projects video. In today's video, we're going to be tackling some random projects around the house that we've been either wanting to do for a while and just have not gotten around to or been putting off. We are starting in the laundry room. I'm going to be doing a little bit of light cleaning in this room first, just because there was a lot of dust and a lot of things everywhere. And before I do my project, I wanted to make sure I cleared some of that dust.
Say you love me, say you don't. Just give me something so I can move on.
I really needed a place in this space to hang dry clothes. So I bought one of these tension rods. Now I'm going to give you a tip because I did not know how to use these. I have gotten like a spring rod before where you just push it in, you pop it inside of like your window frame, but this is a spring tension rod and it's a little bit different. And I was reading the directions. I couldn't figure out. I actually had to stop and watch a YouTube video and then come back and do this. So I'm going to help you out. What you want to do is you want to measure the length of your space. You then want to set your spring tension rod to about a 1/2 inch to an inch longer than that. And you're going to see that your spring tension rod has a spring and then kind of like a little bracket with a screw in it. So you just want to make sure the length of your entire rod is about a 1/2 inch to an inch longer than the space that you're actually needing it to hang. Then you move that little spring and mechanism over and tighten that screw. That is going to allow you to just kind of pop your rod right in. I was really struggling when I first tried this. I could not figure it out. It would not hold. I was kind of doing it like a shower curtain, and it was not working. Obviously, you want to make sure that it's straight, which is what I'm doing here. And this is really the only space that I could think that I could hang things to dry. So I grabbed a couple of my velvet hangers because they had twisty tops, and voila, I've actually been really loving this, and it has really been coming in handy for tie-dye shirts we have made or anything that we don't want to shrink. Now, you can't put a lot of weight on the size of the tension rod that I got, so if you do have a lot of stuff to hang dry, I would definitely suggest getting a thicker one that can hold more weight, but this is working just fine for us for now.
Pull me closer or push me away. Let me know if we'll be okay. 'Cause I can't stand another moment of you playing with my mind. I'm so tired of never knowing, so spell it out. 'Cause I won't stay away.
Our next project is going to be in the kitchen. Now, you may remember I did a video a while ago where I switched out these curtains. I got these from Goodwill. They were an absolute pain to put up. I had to seam rip to get them to go over the bar. It was a whole thing. Well, when I was painting, I was closing the lid onto the paint and paint was going everywhere. And I didn't realize how far it had shot until I realized it was all over the curtains. And I didn't really love those curtains anyway. So I got these from Dollar Tree and I was really excited. I liked the loops here because we can easily open and close them. Because one thing we struggle with is when we want to close them, on the rare occasion that we do, it gets stuck, it pulls the rod, it's a whole thing. But I realized when I opened the package that they are much shorter, like in width, not length. They're the proper length, but they're much shorter in width than the ones that I usually get from Walmart. So I'd only gotten one 2-pack to start with, so I did have to go back to Dollar General and get another 2-pack. So it was more than I wanted to spend on curtains. I was really excited when I found these because I think they were like $12 or something like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's great. That's so cheap. It ended up costing me more than I wanted to spend, but I still love them because I like that they're sheer and they will give a little bit of privacy, but they don't block the light. And I also like that they have the loops so that we can easily slide things across. This is me realizing, oh my God, they're really short in width. This is not going to work. But like I said, it was a happy mistake because I definitely love them in the end.
Morning, I won't stay another night. If you're feeling something for me, say it now. 'Cause I can't wait for you forever. 'Cause I can't wait for you forever.
I wanted to make something that looked nice to have these curtains tied back. Like I said, we don't close them very often. We usually have them open because we're letting the dogs in and out of the sliding doors. And the other curtains were getting just ripped and muddied and all kinds of gross on the bottom because there was nothing to tie them back. So I decided to make my own tie. I have this faux leather from Dollar Tree and I'm just cutting it into 2 strips. Now I wanted them to be pretty thick because I liked the look of that. I didn't want it to look too thin like it was out of place. I wanted it to look like an actual tie back. I'm then going to be using some Velcro that I just had on hand. I've had it for years, but it is from Walmart if you're interested. And I just went ahead and placed that Velcro on the appropriate sides and made myself like a little tie situation that I could just wrap around the curtains. Now, it wasn't staying. So I did have to put like a little hanger. It's not the Command brand. It's actually the brand from Dollar Tree. A little hanger so that I could kind of loop this part onto the part from the wall and it would actually stay. I'm going to be showing you here in a second. I don't know if you can see it right there, but that's what is going to help the curtains stay back. And I absolutely love the way that they look.
Cause I can't wait for you forever. Cause I can't wait for you forever. Cause I can't wait for you forever. I've been patient with your love. Sometimes you don't show it enough. And I wish you could open up and take my worry in and make it stop. Cause I can't stand another moment of you playing with my mind. I'm so tired of never knowing, so spell it out. Cause I won't stay awake till morning. I won't stay another night. If you're
I have been wanting to tackle this. Oh, yes. Christmas sign. My mom actually commented on this weeks ago when she came over, and I just kept forgetting it was up there. So I finally took it down. Yes, we are in July when I'm filming this, and I finally took that down. I have been wanting to tackle this project forever. In the beauty room, I actually did. This used to be gold, and I actually painted it, and it took me forever. It was a completely frustrating project, but it looks so much better black and not gold because it just fits in with our vibe more. So I decided that I did learn some things from that other project and that I was going to tackle this one. I'm using the Rust-Oleum Ultra Cover. This is in flat black, and spoiler alert, I didn't have enough in this little can left. I did have to get another can. And apparently they don't sell little cans anymore. But this took me actually several days to do. So if you are working with this latex paint, it is not an acrylic paint. It's not like a wall paint. It is a latex paint. Patience is key. Because when you apply it on, it's going to look very blotchy. And you're going to have a tendency to want to go over it and get a really good coat. But until it is dry, if you try to go over it, it will wipe itself off. And it can be the most frustrating thing in the world to work with because you feel like you are getting absolutely nowhere. And it does take a really long time, I have found, putting this paint on metal, which is what all of this framing is. But it was totally worth it because in the end, it looks so much better. We did have another struggle too with the door part that's on the bottom that the doors actually slide in and out of. Something is not right when they hung this up, and the doors do get stuck quite often. They don't upstairs in the one that I just showed you that I had done a while ago, but they do here. So that paint is scraping off because it's getting a lot of friction. Now, this is a heavy duty paint, but imagine if you kept scraping metal on metal, the paint's going to come off. So I am having a problem with that after this project is done, but I think we need to readjust the doors because this has not happened upstairs, and I have had the upstairs door frame and everything painted for a few years now. So I do highly recommend this paint for metal. Sand it first, make sure that it is nice and clean, and just be patient and take your time. Because if you're doing something like this, it's going to take a while. It's going to be frustrating, and you just have to stick with it. While I was waiting all of that to dry so I could do a second coat, I did pop in to our laundry room and just freshen up this door. This door has seen better days, so I'm just giving it a coat of the high gloss paint, the semi-gloss paint that I am using on all of the baseboards and the trim. It just needed a little bit of love.
Something for me, say it now, 'cause I can't wait for you forever. Say it now, 'cause I can't wait for you.
I wanted to give you guys a progress shot. This looks absolutely amazing already, in my opinion. You can see I still have some gold left to go, which I am going to be showing you the final reveal of the door a little bit later in the video. But as much work as it takes, it is definitely worth it because I could already start to see the vibe that I wanted to see, which kept me going. You are going to see I only did one side of the door here, and I don't know if you're going to be able to tell the difference on camera. In person, there was an absolute difference. The left is not painted. The right is the one that I touched up with 2 coats of the semi-gloss. I don't think it's coming through on camera, but when you actually look at this in person, it is a massive, massive difference. So just a reminder, a little bit of paint can really update your space and take your space a long way.
'Cause I can't wait for you forever. I can't wait, 'cause I can't wait for you forever. Forever, 'cause I can't wait for you forever. Can't wait, 'cause I can't wait for you
Yep, we're back to this door again. Another tip, if you are painting this and not taking it out. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, why didn't you just take it off? We were afraid to do that, quite honestly, because everything in this house is so wonky, and it just seemed like it was going to be a whole thing. A tip, if you have doors like this with the mirrors that slide and everything, and you want to paint the frame, is to make sure you get the inside top track as well. Now, it is a pain to get up in there. You got to shove your brush. You're probably going to need a very cheap brush because you're going to damage it trying to get it up in there. But if you don't, you can see it through the mirror. I learned that the first time I did this in the upstairs room, and I was so excited when everything was done. I closed the doors and I looked at it and I realized you can see the reflection of the gold that I did not get. So make sure that you're getting every part that you possibly can when you are painting. Now, if you notice, I did not use painter's tape. I hate painter's tape. It just bothers me in most areas. And a blade will just kind of get all of that paint right off and allow you to get right into the crevices. And you're still going to see a tiny bit of gold because it is a mirror inset into a frame. But I got as close as I could. So I just used my razor blade from my X-Acto knife and just like a really dense paintbrush. And it got all of that paint off that I had got onto the mirror.
Gonna stay in this moment. Gonna lay here on the grass. I don't need to feel lonely. I am finally home at last. And I don't mind being gone on adventures for a while. No, no. 'Cause the best thing about it is I know I'm coming back. Oh, oh. Of all the magic places in the world I've been to, this is where my heart is. Oh, you know it's true. No matter where I go, I'm coming.
Many moons later, it was time to clean. I'm just using my favorite window e-cloths to give the mirrors a really good clean. And it's not perfect. I have to tell you, it's not perfect. There's some spots that, like I said, on the track on the bottom that are scraping off. There are some spots that look a little bit wonky where I maybe had a drip here and there and didn't realize it until after it dried. So it is a very tedious project, and it's by no means a perfect project. But I absolutely love the way that this turned out, and it completely changed the space from all different angles.
To you. Been walking down the street so many times, my feet know every brick and stone. Could wear a blindfold, no matter what I do, I'm coming home to you. And I don't know why, don't know why, don't know why, I'm always feeling homesick.
Since we had that project all tackled, I decided to tackle, this is my cleaning closet. It's like a little section of this craft closet I use for cleaning supplies, and it was just getting to be a hot mess in here. I wanted something budget friendly, so I actually got this $10 shoe rack from Walmart. I will have it linked down below. Now, I am going to have to modify it a little bit to fit my cedar mop and all of that on here, but this was the cheapest thing that I could find that was going to be the best fit for the space. I did not have room for a bookcase or more cube organizers or anything, nor did I really have the budget. So for $9.98, this is going to come in really handy.
Many places where the beauty never ends. Different cities, friendly faces, and perhaps I'm going back. But I don't have to be chasing every dream that I have. Oh, no. 'Cause the thing is, I've got more love here than I can bear. Ooh. Of all the magic places in the world I've been to, this is where my heart is. Oh, you know it's true. No matter where I go, I'm coming home to you. Been walking down the street so many times, my feet know every brick and stone. Could wear a blindfold, no matter what I do, I'm coming home to you.
I'm going to be tackling this little bit, which I still kind of am, but I'm worried about some of the weight on this shelf. This was like already in here when we bought the house, but like this screw does not look safe, and the shelf looks a little tilty. So I think I'm going to take some of this stuff off and put it down in my craft closet, just because it's kind of worrying me. And it will also free up some space for down there where I have all of that vinyl and stuff like sticking out. I might be able to put that up there on the top. So I think we might try that. So I took some of the weight off of here, so that's just what's left. And then on the other side, I took, I'm getting rid of a few frames, and then that's my Cricut vinyl, and then this is like my Dollar Tree contact paper and vinyl and stuff. And then I decided to take this broom holder thing off the wall because I hadn't anchored it in, and my Dyson charger is like flopping. I guess I decided not to anchor the top but anchor the bottom. I don't know. So I'm going to take all that off. And I might try to leave the Dyson here, just move it up some, and do the brooms back here behind the little shelf that I'm going to put in the bottom for the other stuff.
This has been flopping on the wall for a very long time, and I actually did put an anchor in both. I guess I just made too big of a hole for that top anchor. I am not sure. And I am using my little electric screwdriver that I got from Temu. It could not handle this project because they were very long screws going into strong anchors. So I did have to pull out the hand screwdriver, but wink, wink, that screwdriver is coming in amazingly handy. So even if you don't grab yourself one from Temu, grab yourself one from Amazon, because I really do like the electric screwdriver and the fact that I don't have to pull out the drill for small projects. And I have done several small projects that it came in handy for, like this one that I'm going to be doing. I am going to be using the hand screwdriver a little bit on this one as well. I am putting in or switching the spot of that broom holder. Now, I kind of made a mistake here. I hung it too high. I wanted it to be high so everything would fit behind the little shelf I'm going to put there, but I hung it a little bit too high, and I did have some trouble putting the items on there. So make sure you hang it low enough if you have a shelf or something that you're going to be able to actually have your brooms and your handles and things stay. But it's okay. It's all working out. Then it was time to put in the shelf until I realized it didn't fit because the baseboard was in the way. So I actually ripped out that section of the baseboard, that little tiny corner and just that wall to my left. Eventually, next year sometime, I do want to redo this entire closet and make it look a lot better, paint the inside, do some shelving or something like that. So I am going to be saving that baseboard so that I can put it back on and remove the baseboard on the other side since my cube organizers are over there. But for the time being, I did have to rip it out and store it so that I could fit this little shelf in here.
And I don't know why, don't know why, don't know why I'm always feeling homesick. Oh, all I know, all I know, all I know is this is where my heart is. Oh.
I have heard people rave about the broom holders from Dollar Tree, and when I tried to get them, I could never find them, but I've been seeing them a lot more again lately, so I wanted to try it. I gotta be honest with you, and I gotta say, they're good if you are on a budget, but they are not the most sturdy thing in the world. I noticed when I was putting my handle in there, it was having trouble like going in, and the part that actually holds the handle was very floppy. I had to use like both hands and finagle it. So if you're on a budget, absolutely, they're $1.25, go for it. But if you can afford to spend a few dollars more, well, let's be real, like $10 more, Command makes a really good one that I have tested, but it's going to work. I'm going to leave it up here. I'm not going to be switching it out. I'm perfectly fine with the way it turned out. I just want to warn you, they're not as sturdy as some people say that they are when they show them in videos. Here we have it. I know it doesn't look like much to you guys, but it is functioning so much better for me when I need to clean. Thank you guys so much for watching this home projects video. I hope you found it helpful or at least entertaining. Make sure you check out the video and the playlist on the screen. And as always, smash that subscribe button so you can become part of our YouTube family. Bye.